What's up, guys? It's Ava Ivy, and we're back with another episode recap of Survivor 49. Today we're talking about episode 12, but first, I think we have something pretty big to address.
Yes.
Ivy.
Survivor X Beast Games crossover.
What? Guys,
Literally insane.
tell me that isn't actually crazy. Tell me why we're the only podcast in the world that covers Beast Games and Survivor, and now there's going to be a crossover episode.
Yeah. So, needless to say, big day for Ava and Ivy talk. So.
Yes. Big day, big day.
Yeah.
For those that have seen the trailer, or I guess haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. It literally dropped an hour before we record this podcast, so kind of huge. It shows a lot. We saw, talking about Survivor, we saw Sue. Obviously, Jeff Probst is there.
Yes.
They are on the island in Fiji, and we even saw one of the challenges, the Get a Grip challenge, which I'm really jealous of.
Classic.
We literally talked about that a few episodes back, and how we, I've always wanted to do that, so pretty jealous,
Yeah.
but I'm excited to watch. I just can't believe it's actually happening,
I know.
what are
Who
the
would've
odds?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Our two favorite things.
Our worlds have collided.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, obviously we'll be talking a lot more about that soon, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, now we can get into the episode 12 breakdown. Obviously a lot of stuff went on.
Yes.
Tribal's obviously the most crazy part, I'd say, of the episode, but we'll wait on that for a little bit. And we'll talk about what led up to that. So, I guess how the episode kind of started off, we saw how Rizzo has somehow convinced everyone that his immunity idol is done at 6 instead of 5 because he got it pre-merge, if I'm correct. That was his explanation. So, I don't know how he got around that, but that's what we saw in the very beginning.
Another great Rizzo strategic play, because it seemed seamless, nobody was doubting it, so Rizzo dub.
Yeah. Yep. And then we flip over to Sophie V, where, she mentions how she knows she has to make herself look good for the jury. She's got to pull something, and at that time we think she's hinting at taking Rizzo's idol, maybe? That would be crazy. But, yeah, well, I don't know where to go from there, so we're just going to move on.
Okay, yeah.
Talk about it later. But she also did mention, flipping on Savannah in the very beginning, too, which also would have been a power move, but obviously that wasn't even in the cards, considering Savannah's win later on. So, yeah, do you have anything to talk about in the beginning that you remember?
Nothing before the reward challenge. We just all know that Savannah is the main target in everyone's mind, and that Rizzo's getting away with his idol play, so... Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's go into the reward challenge. Huge challenge, you win the Mexican feast, a night at the sanctuary, and letters from home, which I guess was essentially expected because this is the second to last episode. The only notes I have from the actual challenge itself was when Christina went to go throw the bag and she threw it backward.
Yeah, that was so funny. That was funny. I low-key think I would do something like that, so I felt that one deeply. I was like, it's okay, Christina.
Yeah. Dang it. I was gonna say something about. Look, I love Christina as a person for sure.
Right.
As a player, I don't know.
Should she be
where
out
I'm
there?
At there. Yeah. I haven't really seen a strategy. I haven't seen competitive mindset in the challenge. I don't know. Don't want to be a hater, but I just feel like Survivor became very overwhelming to her very quickly. And so that kind of threw off whatever plan she had going in. But Christina, she's such a nice person, though. I love her.
Yeah, no hate. No hate.
Person again. No hate.
No hate.
No hate.
Oh, we also saw that this was Savannah's hardest day, seems to be out there before the challenge. Which makes sense. They've gone through a lot at this point. And they're just searching for something good now.
Yeah. And you're just so close to the end. It's I feel like that's the only motivation you have left, it's I've made it this far. I just got to keep going. At this point. But obviously Savannah's mindset got her through because she won the reward challenge. Let's go, Savannah!
Yeah,
this was huge
Savannah.
For me. So yeah, we see her win, and then she picks Rizzo and Soph, which I guess is to be expected, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a possibility that she would have pulled anyone. You know, Sophie even mentioned that when
Right.
when Savannah picked her, she was like, I wasn't sure if she was going to do that. And this is where Soph kind of mentioned how Savannah, in a sense, put Sophie in front of her game by
Yeah.
picking her, you know.
Right.
But, you know, Savannah said she promised Soph that, you know, they would be together for Letters for Home, you know. So we see them three go together. And at this point, obviously, we know the dynamic that it's 3v3, right?
Yeah.
We got those three and then the others. But going into kind of the reward and them going to the sanctuary, one of the funny note I had was like how they had like the happy music with the Mexican meal at the sanctuary, and then you see them back at camp and it's like this intense
Right.
like downing music. It's just so
Yeah.
funny like seeing edits like that.
The differences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
I thought it was super interesting when we see them at the reward, how quickly Sophie, I mean, this could be all like editing as we know, but like how quickly she shifted her mindset of wanting to do this big move and get out Savannah and flip on Savannah and Rizzo. So now she was like, this is a sign. I'm staying with them like until the end. Like that kind of had me shook that she like flipped so quick. Um, but you know, I'm not mad about it. I like them as a trio, so yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's where again there's the line of like, do you choose the person over the play, like the person
Right.
over the strategic move? You know, it's just that balance that kind of sucks in the game like Survivor. You never really know which way to go. I guess
Yeah.
it's kind of money versus friendship.
Right, right.
But yeah, we see. So she finally tells them about her knowledge is power advantage, which Rizzo is in love with, because now you know Rizzo's mind is turning 1,000,000 miles per minute, and as we see her telling Rizzo and Savannah about her knowledge is power, Steven tells Christina and Sage about his block a vote. So now you know everyone, not everyone, but like people know about both of those advantages.
Then, oh wait, are we going to talk about the letters, or should we just? I was just about to jump right back into going when they go back to camp, but. I don't know if
Yeah,
we're
let's
there
do
yet.
letters first,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
That was sweet getting to learn more about like their lives and kind of why they're out here and what their like purpose is in this game. I really enjoyed seeing that. Especially Rizzo's. His was so sweet when he was just like crying about his letters and his brother and his dad. That was so wholesome.
Yeah. When I was watching the episode, I honestly forgot, like, because of everything that was happening, like, when they were talking about knowledge is power and the advantages, like, I forgot that it was also letters from home. And then it just went into that segment. I was like, oh. But yeah, that was really cute. Like, Rizzo sharing his backstory of his immigrant family and also his best friend. That's one of his motivations for being out there. It's just always, you love learning the backstory of someone. Because I feel like Rizzo, we haven't really gotten a lot of backstory, honestly.
Yeah.
That I can remember. But we also see Sophie B talk about her grandma, which was super, super cute. And I love the motivation, how it's like, don't wait to do it. You know, like you can't wait around. Like me and Ivy say, you know, we can't pull an Aaron Burr.
Yeah, we can't wait for it.
You can't wait for it. You just got to go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I loved that little portion, and I know, jumping ahead a little bit here, a lot of the internet is saying she should have listened to her grandma, because she said her grandma would have said to use the knowledge's power on Rizzo and take the idol.
Right.
But, you know, things unfold the way they do.
Yeah.
For a reason, maybe. I don't know. But either way, going back to Letters from Home, really cute. We didn't really see Savannah share anything about her letters.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
The only thing that was mentioned was her boyfriend.
Right.
And I forget what he said. Now I'm thinking about it. But it was literally one line where she was like, my boyfriend said something.
Yeah, I was interested
she was like, sorry. I remember her boyfriend said, I hope you have your core 4. Oh. And then Savannah was like, well, not 4, but I have my trio.
Yeah.
Sophie and Rizzo.
Yeah, I was interested why they focused so much on Sophie and Rizzo versus Savannah, which maybe she just didn't have as much to say about her letters, but.
Yeah, or maybe it wasn't her time to shine.
Yeah, maybe they're saving it.
Who knows?
They're saving it.
Who knows?
But yeah, and then I thought it was funny how then we went from like, I think it was right after the letters is when we went back to the other camp and we see the rats. Bro, that is tough. That is actually so tough. Seeing like the rats,
Yeah.
the one that hit Sage, like, oh my gosh, that's actually brutal. So that's an L for them back at camp, but
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, that's what I wonder, like, are they always at camp or did they just show up
right,
that night? I don't know.
yeah, just to add salt to the
Um,
wound.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh Okay, yes, but going off of going back to, or them coming back to camp the next night, assuming you don't have anything else to say about reward, we see Savannah walk in, and obviously she addresses, like, it's so awkward. I mean, what do you say? What do you say? Like, oh, it was great. Yeah, like, you guys missed out. Like, no.
Yeah,
No.
what are you supposed to do about that?
Yeah, but I mean, at this point in the game, you got 3 days left. There's nothing you can really do about an awkward situation. There, it's all gonna start happening really quickly. I feel like so that happened, and then I'm pretty sure we went into the immunity challenge, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't remember anything between.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we just went right into the immunity challenge. But so the challenge was you have 1 foot on the beam, I guess it is, and you have to keep the ball bouncing. If the ball drops, you're out.
Yeah. Sorry, I had like on my story yesterday, I posted from my Survivor college days. I posted a picture of me doing that same challenge. And so then when I saw that, I was like, oh, just ironic that I posted it the same day. And I had no clue. But that's a sick challenge. And yeah, I thought the ending was very interesting, the way it went down with Sage and Savannah.
Yeah. So, yeah. We see first of all, Rizzo, Sophie, and Christina dropped within 3 minutes of the challenge starting, which is kind of crazy. I don't know. I wonder like what went wrong there. But you know, Jeff was also pointing out throughout the whole challenge, like Dee was the last. She holds the record of 24 minutes. And then ended up winning the entire season of Survivor. So it's like, is this foreshadowing of Savannah? I don't know. But yeah, once we passed the 24 minute mark, I was like, dang. You know, no matter my full opinion on Sage, just credit to her for pushing through and trying to beat Savannah. I just think Savannah is so unbeatable in endurance type challenges. But yeah, when Sage started to essentially not bribe, but I guess negotiate with Savannah, like, look, Savannah, I'll make it to the end. Why would Savannah believe anything that you're saying right now?
I know. That was, like, tough to watch, to be honest, because I felt really bad for Sage because she obviously wants it so bad. But at the same time, I could not... I don't know about you. Let me know what you think. I could not see myself ever in, the final 2 of an immunity challenge. And someone being like, can you just, like, drop? Like, I'll protect... I would never do that. I would never do that. And so... I was, like, mind-blown, because, like, who would? Like, I don't get, even if you did feel safe, and which Savannah's not in a safe position at all. Like, why would she do that? I feel like, even if I was safe, I would not quit. It's like, I'd rather win. Wouldn't you rather win than me give up?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would never, like, who would take that deal? Especially this far into the game, like, I'm not dropping if I was Savannah. And you can kind of tell. Savannah was nice about it, though. She was like, I'm sorry. Like, I just can't do that. I just can't do that. And so we end up seeing Savannah winning her 3rd immunity challenge. If she wins next week, she'll join the small group of women that have won 4 individual immunity challenges. So that's pretty sick. Yeah. Again, go Savannah. My number 1 pick. Yeah, I knew all along.
Yeah, she knew.
I knew all along. But yeah, that was probably felt amazing to accomplish for her. Now she also holds the record for that challenge as well. And it was past the 35-minute mark, so over 10 minutes past Dee, which is pretty awesome. Again, Savannah just proving herself and also giving everyone more of a reason to try to get her out, but at this point, it's nearly impossible.
I know.
So,
yeah.
And so with Savannah's win, obviously the original plan to go after Savannah doesn't work. So they're again going to scramble, and everyone thinks that Rizzo has to play his idol at 6, so they don't go for Rizzo, and now they essentially want to go for Sophie B.
Right.
Which it kind of does suck in a way, like, in that moment during that scenario, because it's like Sophie B was the last choice out of the 3 to kind of vote for, and then it just ended up.
I know.
It just ends up being her again. And that happened a few episodes ago, I think, like where it was almost Sophie B because
Right.
they couldn't vote Savannah.
Right.
But it's just like how the numbers go, I guess. But yeah, so at this moment we see Sophie B's the new target. But Rizzo's confidence always throws me off because I'm like, dang, they're definitely showing how confident he is in this plan because it's like not gonna work, you know. And I guess this time the plan didn't really work, but like, oh my gosh, she just got like really cocky this episode for some reason, and I was getting really nervous at this point.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly.
Yeah. Things always go kind of. I mean, besides this one, things have always really gone his way. Besides the
I know.
But, besides that.
Yeah, besides that, of course.
But I thought it was so good how he went, like, and I mean, I won't jump to tribal yet, but that was a good idea, obviously, to pitch Steven to Sage and Christina. Or did he just pitch it to Sage, and then Sage went to Christina? I can't remember exactly how that played out. But that was a great move because, yeah, besides Savannah, Steven is the strongest, like the biggest threat out there. Like, you're gonna have to get him out eventually. So yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and when I heard Sage like starting to lean towards Steven, I was like, what?
Yeah.
The girl that's been like, oh my gosh, it just her game, it's just all over the place. It's just, I guess, her emotions, but maybe she's also easily convinced. Like, I don't know, but her game confuses me. Her game really confuses me.
And I found it interesting that she said she wants to go to the end with Christina and Sophie, which is just funny because, they have, like, their perspective in the game, and we have our perspective as the audience about what we think is the best move. So that was interesting to me that she would rather have Sophie at the end sitting next to her than Steven.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't necessarily have that perspective. As a viewer, I would think Sophie's more of a threat.
Yeah. It's so funny, like, seeing online everyone's different opinions. Like, we had, like, our reaction video that we posted yesterday has a lot of comments with, like, opinionated people and, like, who should win, who they're rooting for, whatever. It's kind of crazy how diverse, like, everyone's opinions are. Some people are like, Steven definitely had the best game. People are like, no, Sage does. No, Rizzo for sure. And then other people are like, Rizzo, no game at all. And I'm like, okay,
like,
well,
what?
he definitely is a strategist, but like,
I know.
So I don't know where you're going with that, but
right.
But one thing that the internet agrees on, unfortunately, again, talking about Christina, and Steven said it himself, so these aren't even our words, but she's just such a sloppy player. Yeah. Such a sloppy player. Yeah. She doesn't know what she's saying half the time. Steven said it too, like, she can't filter her thoughts, and like, she basically just spilled all her plans to Steven, and as soon as Steven got gist of, like, wait, was my name thrown out there, like, when you were talking to Sage? And she's like, what? No! As if she didn't just say that, like, she didn't just bring that up. Oh my gosh. It's just driving me crazy how she can't seem to get anything right. Or can't seem to get anything to go her way.
I agree.
So, yeah.
But I guess that's why she's going to make it to the final 3, right?
Right. So, in a way, I guess it's beneficial for her. But yeah, I can't think of a single move where anyone could justify Christina winning this season. So, sorry. Unfortunate.
I agree.
That's how the die is cast. What does that even mean, actually?
I think
die is cast.
Steven said it, like, I think he means, like, the move has been made. And I think he said that in relation to his block a vote. Unless I'm wrong.
Okay, that makes sense. No, I feel like that probably is it.
One thing I noticed this episode, we didn't hear any Uncle Jeffs. We didn't hear any Uncle Jay. And that was a win. That was a win.
Yeah, that was a win.
No hate, no shade. I just do not like that when any player says it. So, a win's a win.
Christina, she addressed that on social media.
I
was like, never thought this was something that I would have to address.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that's kind of where we sit right before tribal. Oh, my worry though was like, I thought, okay, now, let's try to get into it. So we see, like you just said, Steven plays his block a vote before they go into tribal.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here, and I had the thought of like, okay, wait, so Soph is gonna play her knowledge as power, but if she tries to play it on Steven, then it's not gonna work. So then I was like, wait, she actually might play it on Rizzo and like get Rizzo's idol. And I think that's what they, like, the cliffhanger right before tribal, it was Sophie literally saying like, my grandma would tell me to take Rizzo's idol. And so I
Right.
was like, okay, so this is the
Okay.
scenario now.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't the scenario.
Yeah,
And
that's
it just
I know.
wasn't the scenario.
I got worried for a second too. I was like, is she taking his thing? Cuz I have some confusion about the block a vote and why is it before tribal? I don't know. I think Sophie B might have posted something about that too today where it was like it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird that that's how it works. Like that doesn't really feel like the other advantages do. So should we get into that moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Sophie V play her knowledge is power. And okay, well one thing I didn't know about the knowledge is power until that moment. I didn't realize she didn't have to name the exact advantage he had.
Me too.
I thought it was like she could like if she just slipped up by saying like do you have steal a vote whatever that would discount it. So that is good to know that like she just had to say do you have an advantage, which we see her ask Steven, but we know Steven's already played his block a vote, so he doesn't have it anymore. And so he says no.
Yeah.
And so that was sad, and it just makes me so mad for Sophie because why is it played? I don't know. I don't get that. Why is it played before you even go to tribal?
That's what like because like what happens with when do you play a steal a vote though?
Right. Like I think you just play it like you have to announce it right before you go to tribal. Like you stand up like when he's like, "Oh, it's time to vote." You go, "Oh, actually, I'm going to be stealing Savannah's vote." So it's at tribal. So why is
public?
Yeah, like why is the block a vote not public?
Yeah. And I wonder there's been block a votes in the past, right?
I thought so.
I think so too, but I don't remember like how exactly they were played. But yeah, I agree. I think the only way it would have worked is if Steven saved it. Because okay, put it in the scenario if Sophie B did know that it had to be played before tribal, then maybe their thoughts were that he was gonna save it for 5 and not use it this tribal, so then she could steal it this tribal and have it for next. In a sense, like that's only if she knew the scenario. But I don't know if they fully did, but...
And it's annoying. Sorry, in more defense of this move, it's really annoying that she has to wait until tribal to play Knowledge is Power, but he can play his block a vote, I think just before the next tribal. Or before the tribal he wants to use it at. Like, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we just wish that the scenario would have been different.
I know, I think we're just
but no, I mean, I think there's a little discrepancy there.
Yeah, I would be frustrated. So I feel annoyed
too.
for her about the situation of
that. And her and Rizzo and Savannah were pretty taken back when he was like, "No, don't have it. Don't have it." So it was definitely a surprise on their end. Okay. And listen, you know, Rizzo's such a strategist, which his moves make sense, but, like, it did annoy me when he was like, "I'm so sorry, Soph, like, I'm so sorry." And then he gets up to fake play the idol again and then doesn't play it for Sophie. That pissed me off.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
It's one thing to, like, showboat and, like, be, you know, for the jury, whatever, but, like, he's done it multiple times. Like, bro, it's getting old, and now you're doing it to Sophie, who you promised something would work a certain way and then it didn't, and then you basically played her and saying like I'm about to play it and then I don't, like, okay, bro.
Which I honestly couldn't tell, like, was he genuinely considering it or not? But I mean, I think he wanted to protect himself at the end of the day, you know. But yeah, that was interesting that he stood up to do that. And I liked how they showed his, like, brief moment of, like, trying to, like, figure everything out when Sophie sat down and he was like, "Did you have your vote?" And she was like, "Yeah, my vote wasn't stolen." And then he was like, "Savannah, did you?" And then he was, like, sitting there, like, thinking. And then he got up. But yeah, it is annoying he did that. And I don't think he would
ever play his idol for anyone other than himself.
Yeah. I think I
Unfortunately.
agree.
Because he's just that type of gamer.
And I mean, he's that close to the end, too. So it's like he really just needs it for that last tribal.
Yep.
And then he'll be good. Which, did he say that he's gonna, like, take it home? Is that, or am I mixing up one of his confessionals? Where he said, like, yeah, I'll get up to play it, like, next, or whatever. And he's like, I could just keep it, because everyone's gonna think I'm gonna play it. Or maybe he's just talking about the last vote. I don't know. But he probably could just take home his idol, because everyone's gonna expect him to play it the last day he can actually play it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Do you think Savannah will win the final immunity?
I think so.
I think she will too. I think she will too.
Yeah, I think she will.
Which is so exciting.
It would be so
But,
dope though if if everybody thinks Rizzo's playing his idol for himself, and then he plays it for like Sophie or Savannah to like save them if one of them isn't safe. That would be cool. But like you said, I don't think he's that kind of gamer. So we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just going back to Tribal to address the whole scenario situation of the votes, which like had us actually shook. So crazy. Right before the votes, I was like, dang, my girl Sophie B, she's going home.
I know. And then when he didn't play the idol, I was like,
yeah,
Sophie.
We were like down low. I was in the pits.
I know. I was like, well,
not excited. And then, oh my gosh, when I heard Jeff start saying, and your whatever member of the jury is, or the 13th person voted out or survivor, I was like, because I expected him to be reading another Sophie vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said that halfway through. I'm like, no,
what?
Steven. Oh my gosh. The whole group was shook. Everyone there was honestly shook.
And then, okay, I can't remember what came first, but when, oh my gosh, it felt like I was watching a movie, low-key, like when they were reading the votes, and then I just, because I don't think I registered what he was saying until I just saw Steven, and I was like, no. And then when he gets up, and then you see Sage, like, lean over, and she's like, sorry, Steve. I was like, best Sage moment of the whole season. I started clapping. That was, like, it literally felt like a movie, like the, on your left. That's how I felt. I was like, oh, Sage, like, let's go. So that was so hype. It was so hype.
Yeah, Sage actually pulled through for us.
That was so good. That
shout out Sage.
Shout out
First
Sage.
Sage shout out of the season.
We've always loved Sage, and we've been saying this, and we've been saying that. Don't watch our other videos. But yeah, no, that was so hype. And okay, wait, was Christina in on it? I didn't pay attention when they showed it at the end. Because she looked
I wasn't paying attention either. I don't think so.
She looked pressed. Which, sorry, Christina. Had to get Steven out. Had to get Steven out of there.
A lot of apologies to Christina this episode.
Yeah, for real. But that was so hype. And then Steven obviously said he was like, not gonna lie, I'm a little hurt. Get out of there! Get out!
Get out of here!
Go get your torch snuffed. Go, get out. But yeah, anyways, that was a great move. I loved that tribal.
Yeah, it was a really good tribal. Really took us through the ups and downs there. Okay, so let's talk about the moves that were made and how this kind of impacts the finale, right? So obviously addressing the biggest one, Sophie B, she basically threw away her knowledge is power. She didn't know that though, but you know, it was thrown away. And it's, you know what definitely hurt her when Jeff goes, well, now, like, I forget what he said, but he was like, Steven and Sophie, now neither of you have advantages anymore. It's like, dang, they really just did that. And neither of them mattered. His block vote didn't even matter.
Oh my gosh, that was kind of, okay, wait. Sorry, Steven, I know you're hurt about getting out. That was kind of, like, low-key so tough for him because he just played it for his alliance. And then, yeah, that's just tough. That's such an L.
Yeah,
You play your advantage
really
for your alliance, and then your alliance turns on you.
Yeah.
Pointless move for him to play that advantage.
Literally pointless. Yeah. So Sophie B, a lot of people are saying she essentially threw away her win. I've seen the memes, you know, she chose tacos over $1 million, yada, yada, yada. I mean, yeah, let's say this. If the knowledge is power, if she would have played it on Rizzo, that could have been a game-winning move. And that's just really unfortunate. But again, you choose friendship over $1 million. And we know there's so much more to the story. But also, what I want to say is, like, I don't think Sage would have flipped if it wasn't for Sophie B. Like, I think we didn't see a moment where, like, Sophie B somehow, like, fully convinced Sage that Steven is the person to go to. Because, you know, it's one thing with Rizzo convincing her, but I feel like Sophie B would have been the person to solidify, especially because maybe her and Sage essentially have the best friendship out of, like, comparing Sage with Savannah and Rizzo.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe Sage heard it from Rizzo, and then Sophie B kind of confirmed that that's the right move in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
And, yeah, I think that's maybe how the cards fell, if that's the saying.
Yeah. That's how the die was cast.
That's how the die is cast. Yes. So yeah, I think she had a lot of not motive, but like influence on how the votes ended up going, in my opinion. That's my speculation.
And I agree.
Yeah, she cast the die.
She did cast it.
But okay, yeah, and then turning over to Sage, what do you think about where this puts Sage in the finale?
I don't know, because it was a good move on Sage's part. It was a really good move, and we already know that the jury feels good about Sage. You know, she's a lot of friends on the jury, so I'm nervous. I think that I really have no idea how I think that this next episode is gonna go, because I think it would be kind of silly, in my opinion, of them to get out Christina, considering, well, I mean, I've said this before, I'll just say it again. I think they have a better chance of beating Christina if they bring her to the end. Or they have a better chance, whoever, you know what I'm saying. You should bring Christina to the end, because she's not going to beat you. So I think it would be silly of them to get her out, but I could also see them getting her out either to stay 3 strong, or, I don't know, if maybe Sophie B does do something crazy and teams up with Sage, maybe she'll stick with Sage until the end. And I don't know.
Do you think Sage has the backing to like prove that she should win over, let's say she's sitting with Rizzo or let's say she's sitting with Savannah and Sophie B. Do you think she could win over them?
I don't think she wins over Savannah, because I think that we've seen it, like, everybody knows and has the perception of Savannah being this threat, and it's like vote after vote, like the jury's seen it, and they've been on the other side, like, voting for Savannah. Like, they all know people have tried to get her out for a long time now and haven't been successful, so letting her get to the end, I think, seals your fate if you're against her. But I think Sage would have a case maybe against, like, I don't know, like, maybe the jury would see her having a better case than Sophie, Rizzo, or Christina, just because we know she has friends over there, and they saw her as this kind of, like, head of these alliances, you know what I mean? Like, I forgot what episode that was where they were saying that, like, her and Jawan were in control of this big alliance left of the merge. So I could see if she was against, like, Rizzo, who it seems like the jury doesn't take him that seriously, which I hope isn't the case, because we know as a viewer that he's very strategic, that, I don't know, I think she could beat Rizzo from their perspectives.
Yeah. I feel like you could find, like, justification for each player depending on each scenario.
Yeah.
And I think that, in my head, how it's going to go, I think Savannah's going to win final immunity. Mm-hmm. She's not going to choose to bring Rizzo just because they've had a very similar game, and it is a threat that he was able to hold an immunity idol for that long and kind of fake people out. Yeah. Especially considering if people do know how strategic it is. It really does depend on that. But I think she might end up taking Sophie B with her and then having Rizzo fight for fire with Christina, maybe. So because I guess ideal scenario.
Oh, sorry. You finish. You finish your thought, and then I'll ask my question.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, the most strategic move for Savannah would be, I guess, to bring Christina with her. But I don't know if she's gonna do that just because of Savannah and Sophie's bond. Yeah. And you know, Savannah also saw that Rizzo didn't put Sophie in front of himself for his game at this tribal, so that also puts Sophie above Rizzo in their alliance from Savannah's perspective. That's my opinion.
Right. I could definitely see that. Yeah. But we have like we have 2 more challenges, 1 more vote off, and then fire making. So do you think that Sage is going out for the next vote, and then Savannah's gonna win the final immunity, and then so you think Sage is going out next, and then Savannah's bringing Sophie?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess it could go Sage, Christina either way, but yeah, I think they would definitely send Sage home before Christina, right?
Yeah. Especially
if the
for
trio
like the last
continues
challenge,
to work together.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I can definitely see that being.
This goes. Yeah, and it goes with the theory of Rizzo being in fire, like we've said since the first episode. For some reason, we think Rizzo's competing in fire, and I think that may end up happening. And here's the thing from Rizzo's perspective, too. He said at the sanctuary that, like, he will sit at the final 3 with them. Yeah. And in his confessional, too, he was even saying that. Like, he wasn't being like, oh, I'm just saying that so they trust me. Like, he was actually kind of being serious. I'm like, Yeah, and in a way, if for some reason Rizzo won final immunity and made it to the end in that way, I think he would probably pick Savannah and then have Sophie compete in fire.
Yeah.
But that would be a very interesting final tribal. Them three, they all had kind of similar games, but again, I think Savannah is just on top with those wins. Like
Yeah.
all those immunity wins.
Right.
Also,
Yeah,
another
I
point,
agree.
Rizzo, really good at talking, really good at explaining his like situation, like how he sits in the game, and we've obviously seen that through the entire season. So, I don't know, he's definitely a huge threat in that final tribal because
Yeah.
that's a lot of talking and a lot of like proving yourself, and we
Right.
know that he can do that.
I know. I think it's gonna be so interesting if them three all go to tribal because though they like have like very similar games, they've all had like very different elements in it. Like Savannah's a challenge beast and has been the villain, like their perceived villain of the whole merge. So she is that going for her. Sophie played the middle and played a great social game this whole time, and we saw her come from really like a disaster tribe and make it this far. And then Rizzo, we've seen him with all these strategic moves and this kind of sway, like you're saying, with his words, on top of playing his idol, or like not playing his idol, I should say, like his strategy. Like how's he been able to, I still don't get how he's been able to do it for that long. It's impressive. So they all have really different things they can pull from in their final tribal. So it would be interesting to see what the jury really thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is a good point. And it's just like, I don't know. I really don't see that ending up being the scenario. Like, I think it's going to be 2 out of the 3 trio and then either Christina or Sage, but that would be crazy. That would be crazy. And it's kind of just a win at that point for those 3 because it's like, all right, guys, we made it this far now. It's just whoever wins. Like, at least it's someone from the trio, you know?
Right.
And it's like fair game in a way. But yeah, I don't think Savannah would want to sit next to Sage in a final tribal just because how big of a hater Sage is. And like,
right.
I just really, Sage would like dig at her until it's like a point proven. So I don't think she would want that.
That would be tough. I do worry though that Sage has, which I mean, she's in the finale episode, but I feel like they've not touched on a lot of her life. And especially, like, when maybe I've missed something in the other episodes, but when she talked about Austin and Paris and making them proud, do we know who that is as the audience? Because I was like, wait, who are they talking about?
Yeah, I don't think so, actually.
So I could see, just from what I'm predicting, like, watching the episode, like, I feel like they're going to go way more into her backstory, like, in the next episode. So then that makes me think she goes really far, or that she goes to the final 3, because she's getting this big... You know.
Or what if they're making it so big so that we gain an emotional attachment and
when
then
she's
voted off right before?
You know what? I could see that too. Yes.
Go either way.
Yes.
Go either way. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other possible like scenarios or theories there are out there in the world, but I don't know. Okay, but now who do you want to win? All right, who's your final pick prediction winner?
Well,
before the finale.
I think Savannah has the highest chance of winning just because of the jury's perspective, and we've just seen this huge edit of everyone wants Savannah out. And she's a challenge beast, she's unbeatable. And I feel like it'd be crazy to have that kind of edit and then get to the end and not win, you know what I mean? So I think she has the highest probability of winning if she goes to the final 3.
I'd have to agree. Yeah. I'd say Savannah is our winner of season 49. I think it just has to be.
I think so.
And especially because there's like no challenge, essentially, depending on the challenge, but there's no other challenge threats anymore. Steven's out. Mm-hmm. So it's like Savannah has a huge advantage at that point. Yeah. As far as immunity challenges go. So yeah, I agree. I think Savannah is definitely most likely to be the winner.
Yeah.
But again, like we said, we would be happy with Rizzo or Sophie B as well.
Yeah. Anyway, from the trio winning, I'm going to be so happy.
Yeah. And it's interesting on the internet, like some people hate the trio. And
I know.
I'm like, how though?
I know.
They're the only people actually playing the game.
I know.
In my opinion.
I know. That actually blows my mind. Like when I see stuff like that on TikTok about people hating on them 3, I'm like, what are you watching? Like, What are you watching? And I'm just so happy they're making it to the finale. Like, if you've watched any of our episodes, you know that we love this trio. Yeah. So the fact that all three of them are going to the finale is awesome.
Yeah. They're my last tribe members standing.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You're gonna rack up a ton of points.
Yes.
So
I hope this episode brings me a ton of points because Savannah's won both challenges.
Right.
Sophie, I don't know if I'll get points for her playing her knowledge is power, even though it didn't work. I don't know, but I'm just happy that I ended up picking them. We knew, like.
Yeah, you had that sense. Wait.
What's that called?
You know what happened? I meant to write down Sophie B. I got my Sophies confused.
I knew, that's what I thought too. I was like, she definitely meant Sophie B.
So by that logic,
this whole time
I have all three of them left too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we talk about our standings?
Yeah. Do you have them pulled up?
Yeah, I'll get them. Okay. Yes. So this is technically for week 11 for our standings in our Survivor Fantasy League. So obviously points from episode 12 aren't here yet. So for me, week 11, I actually dropped back to 170th place with 2,121 points. I went back like 29 places. And then Ivy also went back a little bit, and she's in 234th place with 2,047.5 points. So yeah, we made a little drop, but you know what? It doesn't even matter because we'll get points for this week.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too. I think this was like, we have pretty good predictions this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alex definitely carried me for a long time. So I'm definitely tanking
that
Alex isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
But you know.
He would have been a great talker in the final tribal though.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he would have. Also, side note, his reactions during everything, I don't know if you noticed, on the jury, his reactions were cracking me up. Did you see him? He was like a
little bit.
He was like so dramatic. Like every time something happened, he'd be like, Alex, what? Like, he's performing on that jury.
Yeah. It's like David's performance last season.
Right, that's what I was thinking of. That was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was so funny. Shoot. Do you have any final words that you want to add before the finale, before we see how it all ends?
I don't know. I mean, listen. I just need one of our trio people to win. If Sage wins, I'm mad. That's clear. If Christina wins, I'm never watching Survivor again.
That would actually be crazy.
Bananas. But that's not gonna happen. So.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No hate, no shade. That's just my perspective.
It's a game is game.
Game is game.
Game is game. Game is game. Yeah, I mean, final words, I guess. Savannah, I hope Savannah wins. If Savannah doesn't win, I hope Sophie wins. If Sophie doesn't win, I hope Rizzo wins.
Agreed.
That's pretty much it. This season has been pretty good. Listen, at first, I feel like the earlier episodes were definitely pretty slow. There wasn't much going on. I think there was also just a heavy focus on like the disaster tribe, but now I'm invested. So I definitely am praying that everything goes my way. Because this episode, not everything went my way, but it didn't go the worst way possible.
Right. So. There's still a happy ending.
Yeah.
No more space facts.
Yeah, no more learning about space.
Sorry, Steven.
Sorry, Steve. So that's the end of this episode 12 recap, getting ready for the finale next week. But also, don't forget about the Beast Games and Survivor crossover episode coming during Beast Games Season 2. Season 2 is dropping January 7th. We're excited. Maybe you should prepare for the new season by going and listening to all of our Beast Games podcast episodes. You know, get as much information as possible. Yeah, gather the information you need to know. Throw your theories in the comments. But that's all we have for you for now. Make sure to subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed listening to us yap about Survivor and Beast Games, and we will see you next week. See ya!